Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for joining me today. It's Friday, we got tomorrow, and then it's Easter Sunday. I'm excited about that. I hope you are too. I want to read something out of Acts chapter 17, starting with verse 22. And as I read this, I want you to kind of imagine as if this conversation took place today, because it very well could have. He's saying the exact same thing I hear people debating about and discussing all the time. And so I find this fascinating. This is the Apostle Paul, who was once a terrorist who worked against Christianity. It was part of his job to literally watch people die, be slain, stoned to death because of their belief. But then he was converted by the power of Jesus Christ, and he became one of the greatest apostles, if not the greatest apostle, and the greatest apologist for Christianity who ever lived. So he never shied away from a conversation. He was a highly intelligent man. And so here he's debating some of the folks in Athens, Greece. And he starts out with this. It says in verse 22 of Acts 17, Paul then stood up and said, "People of Athens, I see that in every way you are very religious." Now that's interesting because even though they were philosophers and intellectuals, they still had their religions too. Even people today who claim they don't believe in God believe in something. Maybe they believe in science. Maybe they believe in the video games or whatever. But people still have their beliefs. So you can't disregard believing in something just because you don't believe in God. And he was calling them out saying, hey, all of us believe in something. In verse 23, "For as I walked around and looked carefully at your objects of worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, 'To an unknown God.' So you are ignorant of the very thing you worship. And this is what I am going to proclaim to you." Now, before this proclamation, let's just look at this for a second. He was pointing out by what he saw, like us today, perhaps pointing out sports or like I just mentioned, video games. We've all got something we're into. And in this particular case, these idols were statues and whatnot, even to an unknown God. But he said, "My God, the God who made the world and everything in it, is the Lord of heaven and earth, and does not live in temples built by human hands. And he is not served by human hands as if he needed anything. Rather, he himself gives everyone life and breath and everything else." His argument was that God's running everything, not people, not idols, not mere intellectualism or whatever, but God was running things. He's responsible for everything. I love how he points out that he doesn't live in temples. He doesn't live in our churches. We don't have to go to church to honor God. The truth is, God lives inside those who believe in him. The truth is, we congregate in our buildings and our homes and whatnot. You know why? Because we enjoy congregating together. We enjoy being encouraged by each other. It's sort of a foxhole where we regroup and reclaim what we believe in by being affirmed by others and enjoying the company of others, that Jesus Christ is number one. Let's see. He says, "From one man he made all the nations, and they should inhabit the whole earth. And he marked out their appointed times in history and the boundaries of their lands." God did this so that they would seek him and perhaps reach out for him and find him, though he is not far from any of us. Hey, God wants to be found. God wants to be discovered. God is not hiding from us. He wants us to find the reason and the purpose for living. He longs to purpose him with you, with me. He's not trying to take away who we are. He's trying to enhance who we are, to fulfill our lives adequately. "For in him we live and move and have our being." As some of your own poets have even said, "We are his offspring." Therefore, since we are God's offspring, we should not think that the divine being is like gold or silver or stone, an image made in with human skills. Here's the deal, people. God's not interested in having us become somebody we're not in order to follow him. He wants us to be who we are. He just wants us to know the truth about what we're following. It says here, "For he set a day when he will judge the world with justice by a man, Jesus Christ, who was appointed." He has given proof that Jesus Christ is appointed to be the one and only because he raised him from the dead. And that's what we celebrate on Easter Sunday. It's a day we recognize that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. He can't die again. He died once in our place to bring us to God, to bring us into unity, to bring our purpose alive. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Do you know it? Do you know who you are? Is your identity in baseball or football or your children, or is your identity in God Himself, the creator of all things? Well, we're going to celebrate Easter Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. God bless you and have a great, great weekend.